Krishnamurti's philosophy has two aspects. One is individual transformation, and another is his idea of ideal society. We are critiquing first this aspect of his philosophy. My position is that Krishnamurti's idea of ideal society is very much flawed. But central to his philosophy is not this but this, his views on individual transformation. But this part we are going to do later, which is more critical and more difficult also. We discussed the idea of Krishnamurti's opposition to wars, and in this talk we are going to discuss another aspect of Krishnamurti about his opposition to ideologies. Krishnamurti ideologies basically divide people. They are simply ego extensions. So, individuals fight or groups fight in the name of ideologies, but the real conflict is ego or self-interest. So, ideology is only a cover for the actual battle between the egos. So, in Krishnamurti's ideal society, there appears to be no ideological divisions among people. But this position, I think, is to hugely misunderstand the role of ideology in human progress. Krishnamurti grossly undermines or doesn't care to understand the role of ideology. To him, all ideologies are simply divisions among people. Let us look at the statement. I am taking these quotations from this book, Questioning Krishnamurti. He said, "Aren't these dualities created artificially? First of all, because you are a Protestant, I am a Catholic. Or I am a communist and you are a capitalist. Aren't they created artificially because, I think aren't they created artificially because each society has its own vested interest, each group has its own particular form of security? Or is the division created in oneself by the me and not me?" So, ideology to Krishnamurti is a me not me extension and form of security. Okay. But this view will be rejected by, I think, most social scientists. What is an ideology? It is simply a group picks up certain ideas and ideals and develops its own social, political, economic organization. So it chooses to live in a particular way. That is its freedom. So society chooses to live in a particular way, and this particular way may be in opposition to another way. Okay. For example, Krishnamurti rebelled against Theosophical society and formed his own. Theosophical society represented one ideology and his own represented another ideology. To see this merely as a division based on ego conflict is not proper. Okay. One thinker who discussed world progress through ideologies is Hegel. To Hegel, a group tries one idea, and when it doesn't work, it tries its opposite, idea 2, and then it may arrive at a kind of synthesis of these ideas, idea 3. So he thought people think through conflict of ideas, which he called dialectics. One idea is tested and then its opposite tested, and then evolve a synthesis. This is called a thesis, antithesis and synthesis. This synthesis forms the thesis for the next stage. So Hegel thought through testing of ideas and ideals, man arrives at better and better ideas, and this is the essence of human progress. It is not necessary that same people are testing different ideologies. It can be one group tests idea 1, another group tests idea 2, and there can be a conflict between the two, and idea 2 may win. So people experiment in terms of their social, political and economic organizations, and better ideas and better ideologies win, and that is what human progress is. Ideology is not simply a matter of division. For example, Krishnamurti referred to Protestantism and Catholicism. To Krishnamurti, Protestantism and Catholicism are simply divisions, but historically Protestantism started as a critic of church, and it sought to reform church. This contributed to reform of Christianity. So this is not simply ego-based division. So as a result of this conflict, two sects are created, Catholics and Protestants. Martin Luther did not want to split Christianity, like Krishnamurti did not want to attack Theosophical Society or start something new. He just spoke the truth he found, and that led to split. So this is what Martin Luther did, and this created, and the entire Christianity reformed and became the basis for modernization process. So this ideological division is the means to progress. It is not simply the ego conflict. And in the same way, this reference to communism and democracy also is missing the point. Communism is an experiment done by Lenin and Mao based on the ideas of Marx or a particular interpretation of Marxist ideas. And finally, it collapsed. And now communism is seen as a inferior ideology as opposed to democracy, as opposed to market. Okay, so communism is tested and failed, and new political entities or new revolutionaries are not likely to try this again. So ideologies are a process of experimentation, process of discovering truth, moving closer to truth, whatever it is. So ideologies play a role, whereas Krishnamurti thinks that ideologies are simply artificial, ego-based divisions of mankind. So Krishnamurti's understanding of role of ideologies is, I would say, is completely off the mark. Thank you.